Shalom, this is Sharbine Strala out of Lionsden Camp, located here just for Florida. First and foremost, I would like to praise, honor, and glory to the Father and the Son in the proper true Hebrew tongue. Alright. Say Kal, Halam La, Yahweh, Ba'ashim Al-Shai, Ba'ashim, Ha-Rakah, Kodash Ma'amoth. Also, the abundance to the elders, apostles, GMS. The abundance to my elder as well. Ahar One Masrala. Peace is blessed to 1/3. And salutations to those for elect. It's gonna be a quick little lesson. Land back in a point of camp. Only the brother got it out. Okay. But just going to Wisdom of Solomon chapter 3. You know, cause we talking about I'm gonna go ahead get into it. It says they that put their trust in him shall understand the truth. All right, so we're going into trust in the Lord and understanding what he has established. And that is hard for anyone to do that doesn't trust in the Lord. If you don't trust in the Lord, you're not getting anywhere, man. And that means the true Lord, Yahweh, Ba'ashim Al-Shai, no other God, not Jehovah, not Jesus, not Buddha, not the gods of men, but the gods of Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, the God of the whole universe, that created the heavens and the earth. All right. So the one true God, which his name is Yahweh, no other name, and not just a title. You know, he is the Most High God, but his name is Yahweh, which means he is this, and he's the Father. All right, and the Son name is Yahweh Shai, which the world innately calls Jesus Christ, but he is Yahweh Shai Mashiach, which Yahweh Shai meaning he delivers, and Mashiach is anointed, the anointed one. All right. All right. So verse 9 again says, they that put their trust in him shall understand the truth, and such as be faithful in love shall abide with him. For grace and mercy is to his saints. So common grace and mercy is to his 1/3, and ultimately to his hopeful elect. His hopeful elect are the ones that are the ones that are being sent out right now on highways and byways and street corners and trying to wake up the rest of the elect. Yahweh the Zah, I'm part of that number, because what we truly want is the establishment of New Yasharallah. If we want literally righteousness to supreme, to reign supreme in this world, man. Because this is a wicked place. This is literally a dystopia. Even me, and my worldly brother, we talking about this, man. We talking about stuff that's being in like chemicals. Talking about like fluoride, how that's bad. You know, they put it in water. It's a toothpaste. You know, I don't want to use that. Use coconut oil or something. And like literally, that's for your teeth. If you swallow it, if you swallow a large amount, you dead. You know, you done. I'm talking about some sound far fetched, but a pork being in certain stuff, or like or animal byproducts that you wouldn't use, like some hamite byproducts you wouldn't even think is in something like Gatorade or Arizona or something like that. And this is a conversation that we are having that's pertaining to food, stuff that we eat, like regular stuff, like juice, whatever. But hey, this is the world we live in. Hey, if you want to drink something, you might as well just drink some spring water. Drink some make your own juice. Otherwise, you're gonna be eating and drinking something you don't want to. And people put a lot of faith in this society, and they put a lot of faith in this. And in this society, bro, this society is filled with nothing but just like doom. You can't buy nothing to be healthy for you. You gotta go out your way. You gotta like buy some real fruits and make it for yourself. That's the best way to do it, you know. Or even grow your own fruits, you know. But nonetheless, just going back to the point, it says, "And such as be faithful in love shall abide with him, for grace and mercy is to his saints, and he hath care for his elect." All right. It says, "But the ungodly shall be punished according to their own imaginations," going into Esau, man. As you know, Trump, oh shoot, not Trump, but a Trump card, something used for poker. Nonetheless, the king of Babylon, the king of Babylon says, or the king of Babylon, then took 300 billion craters of oil. Well, 300 billion. That's crazy. So ultimately, to establish a satanic order on the earth, these Edomites want to do that. You know, these elites. They want to have a NWO ultimately. They want to establish literally an order, a new order. And ultimately, what's going to happen to that is wayward of their own sword is the nuclear missiles being turned back onto them. 200 million of them being turned back onto them. Yeah, I said it right. 200 million. So, verse 10, but the ungodly shall be unpunished according to their own imaginations. So they want to want to establish a NWO. They want nuclear warfare if needed to be turned on our enemies. But guess what? Their enemies are drinking up the wine of that Babylon juice, and soon they're gonna quote unquote sober up. But they're gonna go crazy and turn that they behind and cause a whole nuclear fallout, man. Yeah, thus say the Lord, man. This is in the scriptures and Revelations, man. Verse 10 says, but the ungodly shall be punished according to their own imaginations, which have neglected the righteous and forsaken the Lord. So come, man, if you want to be, if you want to not follow the truth, this is the truth, man. This is not no Jehovah Witness, Jehovah wickedness. This is not no Christianity. This is we have no 501c3 charters. We believe in Paleo Hebrew, the Proto Paleo Hebrew. I still go back to slavery and even before slavery. But Jake don't want to believe that. Jake don't want to believe that we was princes and kings, you know. Jake don't want to believe that King James being ruling over like 3 countries, Britain, Italy, and Spain. You know, people don't want to believe that we were something else other than what they call us now, which is NIGGAs. You know, they want to only think that the only way out of the society is money, not knowing how even money works, how this economic system works. It's based off of consumerism, based off of numerable variables that are very feasible because it's a fiat currency. All right. So verse 11, it says, for whoso despises wisdom and nurture, he is miserable and their hope is vain. So man, your hope is vain. Not believing in the Lord, what you gonna do? What you gonna do? You don't got no other foundation, man. The hope is the really one thing that has been used throughout time. It's just that you gotta hope in the right thing, man. You can't just hope in a random statue like how they do. You can't hope in men. Please don't do that. If you have a God, we used to have literally everyone, the nations used to know that we had a God, the God of Abraham, Isaac, Jacob. The nation knew that, you know. That we had the Most High, we had the Most High, our Father Yahweh. All right, even the nations knew that. Now we don't even know that. Some nations still know that we have that God. They just don't. They doing the heathenistic stuff, and once it's being told to them, yeah, we knew that all along. But hey, you can't express that because it's not being shown, because the wicked are in power right now, so you will never know. You know, but guess what? That's only for a time, you know, which I'm gonna get a few scriptures on that. All right, it says, he is miserable and their hope is vain. Their labor is unfruitful and their works unprofitable. So, man, that's vain, man. That's unimportant. That's not important at all for this place Babylon to have the stockpiles of nuclear missiles, stockpiles of all the stuff that they have stolen, all the stuff they have robbed people of, also they have amassed from great rob and unaliving. That is unprofitable. That's unfruitful, and it's not going to gain them nothing. It's only going to gain them according to their own imaginations. You know, they're going to have that turn right back on them. Right, so verse 12, their wives are foolish and their children are wicked, man. Esau, all right, even 2/3 of our people, these Eves and these NIGGAs, these ninjas, they begot children who are just foolish and ignorant, or not ignorant, foolish, because you'll have a young man, as you would see as like a YN or whatever, they'll be emotional, and they might even see the truth. They might walk past a prophet. They might, why he's saying this America? Why he's saying Babylon's finna be destroyed? So and not care about that because he's ready to do something foolish. Same as the Evite. Evite is gonna combat that. As you probably see on some of the camp videos, he ready to combat this. Man is above me or is beside supposed to be my life partner and is godly. I can't have that. So yeah, it's just Esau. Of course, they can't even say the name, man. So or some be with it, but they can't do nothing. We need our people to be with it, not just Esau and these heathens. Because Esau might get with it. Some of Esau might get with it, and heathens definitely get with it. But our people, no. All right, it says Proverbs chapter 1 verse 7. It says the fear of the Lord, Yahweh Ba'Shem Shai, is the beginning of knowledge, but fools despise wisdom and instruction. That's 2/3 of our people ultimately, man. They don't want to be instructed properly. They don't want to have wisdom. They ultimately deem the wisdom of Yahweh Ba'Shem Shai as like unimportant. But it's kind of just like that's their lot. They cannot perceive it, you know. If they had actual wisdom, they would want to actually hear and understand and know, because they would know that this is life or death, literally. Because as a prophet, if you to heal somebody, you got to know their sickness. So anytime homeless person or random person come up to you, or you go to them and they give you a problem, and they tell you about this and that, they tell you about their religion, tell you about this, how this going. You hear everything they're saying, you take it in. Even if they try to teach you something, you understand every single thing they're saying. There's no way you can't. If you understand the scriptures, you can understand anything. You can understand even though it's vain, you know. But guess what? It's wrong. It's gonna be wrong, of course. A lot of solutions and problems would be wrong. Here, just do this, do that, do that. So, and maybe 2 times out of 10, they might do what you ask them to do. Ultimately, it's to follow the Lord. If it's a physical problem, do this, maybe do that. And they might take heed to that. But ultimately, they're not going to fully take heed to that because they do not have the fear of the Lord in them. They don't fear the Lord. If they did, they would immediately be into subjection, man. As soon as they heard a name that they never heard before, or destruction to a place that they live at being prophesied in the scriptures that is going to happen to this place that they live at, something like that being said, you would think they would take heed to it, but no, they do not fear the Lord. They fear Esau. They fear not having no money. They fear this and that. When we telling them, we telling them that they're not gonna have that. All right, this is Psalm chapter 1, start of verse 3. It says, and he shall. Oh, actually, yeah. I'm verse 1. It says, blessed is the man that walketh not in the counsel of the ungodly, man. As it says that the ungodly are unfruitful. They have nothing to do but perish. That's their literal lot is to come on the earth, wreak havoc, be scornful, be this and that, and pass away. Because let me just keep reading. Nor standeth in the way of sinners, nor sitteth in the seat of scornful. But his delight is in the law of the Lord, Yahweh Ba'Shem Shai. And in his law doth he meditate day and night. All right, and he shall be like a tree planted by the rivers of water, that bringeth forth his fruit in his season. His leaf also shall not wither, and whatsoever he doth shall prosper. Whatsoever he doeth shall prosper. The ungodly are not so, but are like the chaff which the wind driveth away. All right, it says, therefore the ungodly shall not stand in the judgment, nor sinners in the congregation of the righteous. For the Lord knoweth the way of the righteous, but the way of the ungodly shall perish. So kind, simple as that. I was going to explain that. The scripture did it for me. The way of the ungodly shall perish. There's nothing fruitful about them, man. That's just like a you get it all. You see like a cluster of grapes or a cluster. Well, here in Florida, just in Florida, you'll see a cluster of raspberries. You'll see it'll be about like 10 big ones, you know, like wild raspberries, it'll be like 10 big ones, and you'll see like, you know, a couple raisiny looking ones, like, but they're probably bad, you know, they're not ripe, they're bad looking. You might well just pluck those off, you know, let them grow some more. And these right here, these 10, these good ones, this small number of good ones, which is the elect, the hopeful elect, in the 1/3, you know, as I'm part of that number, the hopeful elect. These are the ones you should want to keep. These are the ones that's doing what it's supposed to do. All right, they're gonna grow to very good fruits, be eaten and grow some more. You know. All right, this is Proverbs chapter 10, verse 25. It says, "As the whirlwind passeth, so is the wicked no more, but the righteous is an everlasting foundation." Just a few scriptures is going on what it is for the wicked to do. It says that the ungodly is unfruitful. That's gonna be the name of the lesson. The godly are unfruitful. It's nothing that is a godly or unfruitful in vain. So you have no God, you ain't as an atheist, or even if you're a Christian, and because any Christian you talk to, they'll be like, we have no law, we don't have no laws, we don't have yeah, we got a new covenant, and you can cut any Christian. It don't matter. Anytime you talk to a Christian, you can cut them with like 5 scriptures, literally the whole thing. The whole persona, the whole thing. Cut them with 5 scriptures, and they're still gonna be like, "Well, I know God know my heart." That's not even the scriptures. Where you get that from? I mean, I guess it is actually. I'm like, God doesn't know your heart and everything. But well, yeah, He doesn't know your heart. It's wicked. Yeah, that's the thing. If you knew He knew your heart, guess what? Your heart would be to you. It would be wicked. Yeah, it would be wicked. Um. But yeah, man, it says as the whirlwind passes, so is the wicked no more, man. So come on, man. These wicked are like freaking spiders and flies, man. A big storm pass them with no wisdom, knowledge, instruction, no hope. They're done for. They're not being here again. But for the righteous, they're gonna keep flourishing. You know, we're like seeds. You know, we're like seeds. You know, small seeds, mustard seeds. You can say that. And it can grow. It can grow anywhere. It can grow in fertile soil, of course. But yeah, like seeds that can grow anywhere, man. Because the Lord has given us the power to do so with wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, man. But these unfruitful people, they can't do nothing. They're GMO. All right, this is Psalm 103. I'm gonna start at verse 15. Says, "As for a man, his days are as grass, as a flower of the field, so he flourishes. For the wind passes over, and it is gone, and the place thereof shall know it no more." So yeah, the same thing I just said. I love the scriptures, man. These proverbs and songs. It's simple though. This is their whole life, like grass, like an unfruitful thing. It's simple to understand. This is what we're trying to tell. If you want to be a part of the world, this is what you have to deal with. Knowing that your world ends when the world ends. But if you're a praying, even if you believe in God, these IUIC, they want to create communities, or Zakar, they want to create communities and announce Yahweh Shai. You know, they want to do all the wrong things. Just know that when this world ends, all that gang banging and bishop worshiping, and for these Christians, these pork chop eating, shrimp eating, all that is going to end when that church ends, you know. So when our church ends, we still have the Most High Yahweh Shem Shai. We're not gonna be together forever, you know. We gotta we're in the beginning of Jacob's trouble, so we know we're trying to give out the proper revelation right now, because guess what? We're not in the times of trouble. We're not gonna see each other. We're gonna have our own families to think about. All right, so this is the time to be in. This is time of grace where we try to call after our brothers and wake up the elect. And once the trumpet is being blown, shoot, you got nothing but to hide and pray and do your thing, cause hey, it's gonna get worse from here. It's never gonna get better. You might think it'd be better cause gas prices going down. You might think it's better because you got a new job. You might be thinking it's better because this and that. But hey, this is a fiat currency. It's very feasible. It's very like you can't track it. Like gas prices might go from here and there, but inflation, you can see a point of a good inflation before a very bad one. You can see a point of you can see a point of good stuff before a very bad one. You know what I mean? But come on, man. Ultimately, that was a lesson. Yesterday, that was edifying, a little lesson, and that. I said, Shalom.